Hello everyone, I am here today to guide you with our first lesson for the first quarter in English 7. The first lesson in Module 1 is Philippine Literature in Pre-colonial Period. The learning competencies for this lesson are the following. First, describe the different literary genres during the pre-colonial period and identify the distinguishing features of proverbs, myths, and legends. But before we proceed to our discussion, let's have a drill first. The geographical divisions of the Philippines are the three island groups of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Let us answer the following questions about these island groups. Number 1 question. Which island group that includes Calabarzon? Is it Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao? Yes, the correct answer is Luzon. Second question. What ethno-linguistic groups belong to Luzon? Panayan and Cebuano, Maranao and Manobo, or Tagalog and Ilocano? Very good. The correct answer is Tagalog and Ilocano. Let's proceed to the third question. Which island group can we find the Maranaos? Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao? Yes, your answer is correct, Mindanao. Last question. What ethno-linguistic group belongs to Visayas? Is it Igorot, Panayan, or Banuaon? Correct. The right answer is Panayan. Now that you have shown that you are very much familiar with these three island groups and the different ethno-linguistic groups in the Philippines, we will proceed to our main lesson. Pre-colonial literature in the Philippines, by one means or another, gave us an illustration from the past. It underscores on how our literature began in the country, which is the Philippines. Damiana L. Eugenio, the mother of Philippine folklore, classifies Philippine folk literature into three major groups: folk narratives, folk speeches, and folk songs. Let's begin with folk narratives. Folk narratives, they explain how the world was created, how certain animals possess certain characteristics, why some places have waterfalls, volcanoes, mountains, flora or fauna. There are different types of folk narratives. The first one is myth. Myth is a narrative that describes and portrays in symbolic language the origin of the basic elements and assumptions of a culture. There are different examples of myth in the Philippines. I have here how the world was created, Ipanayan version, or the origin of this world, from Maranao, or Mag-asawang tubig, from Tagalog. Another type of folk narrative is folktale. Folktale has been passed on generation to generation by word of mouth rather than by writing. Filipino folktales are stories that form part of the oral tradition in the Philippines. Examples: How the First Head Was Taken from Igorot and The Adventures of Juan from Tagalog. How about you? Do you know some other folktales and myths in the Philippines? Another type of folk narrative is a legend or alamat in Filipino. Legend is a traditional narrative or collection of related narratives, popularly regarded as historically factual, but actually a mixture of fact and fiction. Some examples of legend in the Philippines are the following: Alamat ng Saging or The Legend of Banana Plants, The Legend of Mariang Makiling, Alamat ng Dama de Noche or The Legend of Dama de Noche. How about you? Do you know other legends from the Philippines? Can you cite some? Another type of folk narrative is an epic. Epics revolve around supernatural events or heroic deeds, and they embody or validate the beliefs and customs and ideals of a community. Some examples of epics are the following: Ang Biag ni Lamang or The Life of Lamang is pre-Hispanic epic poem of the Ilocano people of the Philippines. The story was handed down orally for generations before it was written down around 1640, assumably by a blind Ilocano bard named Pedro Bucaneg. Another one is the Maragtas Chronicles of Panay, Visayan epic poetry. The Maragtas is a work by Pedro Alcantara Monteclaro, titled in English translation, History of Panay, from the first inhabitants and the Bornean immigrants, from which they descended to the arrival of the Spaniards. The work is in mixed Hiligaynon and Kinaray-a languages in Iloilo in 1907. Another epic in the Philippines is Hudhod. Hudhod ni Aliguyon is a famous epic that came from the Ifugao province of Luzon in the Philippines. It narrates events about the culture and traditions of the Ifugao and their hero, Aliguyon. Do you know other epics from the Philippines? Can you give me some of them? So, the different types of folk narratives that we just discussed are myth, folktale, legend, and epics. Let's now proceed to another type of Philippine folk literature, folk speeches. One of the type of folk speeches is riddle or bugtong in Tagalog, tigmo in Cebuano, patototdog in Bicolano, paktakon in Ilonggo. Riddle is made up of one or more measured lines with rhymes and may consist of 4 to 12 syllables. It uses one's power of observation and wit are put to the test. Some examples of riddles in the Philippines are the following: Buhok ni Adan, hindi mabilang. In English, Adam's hair you cannot count. The answer to this riddle is ulan or rain. Another one, sa araw ay bumbong, sa gabi ay dahon. In English, roll in the morning, leaf in the afternoon. The answer to this riddle is banig or mat. Do you know other samples of riddles? Have you heard some from your parents or from your grandparents? Can you add more examples aside from mine? Another type of folk speeches is proverb. Proverb is a simple and concrete saying. popularly known and repeated, that expresses a truth based on common sense or experience. It describes a basic rule of conduct and serves as law or rule on good behavior by our ancestors. Some examples of proverb or salawikain or kawikaan in Tagalog are the following. Aanhin pa ang damo kung patay na ang kabayo. In English, what good is the grass if the horse is already dead? Kung walang tiyaga, walang nilaga. In English, without perseverance, there is no reward. Have you already heard this before? Have you heard another samples of proverbs or kawikaan or salawikain? You can ask your parents or your older sisters and brothers. The two types of folk speeches that I presented are riddles and proverbs. Now, we will proceed to the last type of Philippine folk literature, folk song. It is a form of folk lyric which expresses the hopes and aspirations, the people's lifestyles, as well as their loves. These are often repetitive and sonorous, didactic and naive, as in the children's songs. Some examples of folk songs are the following. Lullabies or ili-ili in Ilonggo. Love songs like the Panawagon and Balitaw in Ilonggo. Harana or serenades in Cebuano. The Bayok in Maranao. The seven-syllable per line poem, Ambahan of the Mangyans. And the verbal joust or games like the duplo, which is popular during weeks. For the last time, the three major types of Philippine folk literature are folk narratives, folk speeches, and folk song. Do you understand everything? If you are not sure, you can always go back to the first slide of this PowerPoint presentation or to the specific slide that you want to review. Now we will proceed to the exercises about our topic. The first one is find a word puzzle. Find the 10 different genres of Philippine literature in the pre-colonial periods. I will give you 15 minutes to find these 10 words. Good job! We've found the 10 mystery words in the puzzle. We will now proceed to the next one. With the description given on different literary forms, share other examples you know. Are you ready? Give examples of proverbs, riddles, myths, legends, folktales, epics, working songs, and lullabies. I will give you 1 hour for this activity. Very good! Your examples are all correct. And for the last activity, we will have the crossword puzzle. Fill in the crossword puzzle with the correct words that are being defined in the two boxes on the right and left sides. I will give you another 1 hour for this activity. Before we end, I want you to write a reflection in your notebook. Answer this question. Why do we need to study the literature of the Philippines? That's all for today. You did a good job. Congratulations!